So it's a number of congregations, and it's known sometimes as the New Church.
The New Church is probably the broadest umbrella term.
But it is the New Jerusalem Church.
Yeah, the official title of the church that I'm part of is the General Church of the New Jerusalem.
And you also have, obviously, a college affiliation.
That's right. I teach at Bryn Athyn College, which is a Swedenborgian college where the works of Swedenborg are taught. You can get a very good education there. There's a theological school that trains priests, and there's also a master's program in just a Master's of Arts in Swedenborgian Studies.
And I've looked a little at the website for the church in Bryn Athyn, and it's a huge facility, it seems.
Yes.
How big is the ministerial staff?
Well, in Bryn Athyn, there are 5 pastors there.
Wow.
And there's a congregation of probably 3,000 or 4,000 people, I guess, in the borough of Bryn Athyn.
There's some interesting ideas on love. We only just have a couple of minutes, but there was some. I couldn't help but notice some ideas on conjugal love.
Ah, yes.
That are very interesting. Could we? I know this is horrible. Can we do something briefly on that?
I'll see if I can do a couple of minutes on the topic. Swedenborg was a lifelong bachelor. He never married. He was in love several times, and his heart was broken several times. And at the age of 80, this 80-year-old bachelor wrote a work on marriage, and it's a beautiful work. There are some challenging teachings in there, and there are some things that some people feel come from the 18th century perspective or what have you. But the vision that he presents of marriage in heaven is a beautiful vision of that really the angels, heaven is sort of couple-based arrangement. And instead of having children, these couples are really producing things. I'm not sure what form it takes, works of art or what have you. Or just he describes it as new, good, and truth. And so he sees a kind of a marriage in all things, a marriage of heart and mind, marriage of faith and charity or kindness. So the concept of marriage is very important to him. And his book ranges all the way from spiritual experiences of couples in the other world, even couples who lived thousands of years in a married state, beautiful things that he teaches, and then all the way down to nuts and bolts of marriage and divorce and this sort of thing, very specific teachings about just marriage in this world.
It's lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. If you're interested, again, the website is www.swedenborg.com. They have some wonderful, this is the paperback version of the book that we held up before, the original manuscript?
This is an introductory volume to the New Century Edition, a series of essays about Swedenborg entitled Scribe of Heaven that'll be coming out this fall, I believe. And the book that he's holding in his hand is the book in the picture on the cover. That's Emmanuel Swedenborg on the cover. And the manuscript that he's holding in his hand is the manuscript to the book that you showed before.
And I'm just getting chills. And then, of course, heaven and its wonders and hell. That's boy, is that leading. Got everything in there.
This is an intense book, probably Swedenborg's most popular book. This is a sample chapter from the New Century Edition. The volume will be out, I believe, in July. And it has the ornaments. We have a larger trim size like the first editions, a 7x10 trim size, and with introductions and annotations. We're very fortunate to get Bernhard Lang, who's written a book on the history of concepts of heaven called Heaven a History, who's annotated it, showing how Swedenborg's views of heaven are unique and distinctive in the history of concepts of this. And so it's annotated for new readers, for scholars who just have a passing interest in Swedenborg. I'm hopeful that the New Century Edition will raise the quality of what scholars are able to say about Swedenborg, because Swedenborg has been somewhat inaccessible, a little sort of coveted by the church organizations, and not works that were widely distributed or available in a bibliographically respectable form. And I'm hopeful that the New Century Edition will remedy that.
And you can get to that from the website address?
That's right. There's a page on there about the New Century Edition.
.swedenborg.com. We got to go. We got to go. I'm sorry. I know we could do another couple of days here, but we got to go. Thank you all so very, very much for coming. Jesus loves you. Good night.